What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and another unboxing for Blood Red Skies as we tackle the Battle of Midway two-player starters. So we apologize that we won't have regular video for this. For whatever reason, when we were filming the unboxing, just the file somehow got corrupted, and unfortunately, just kind of impossible to go back and put it all back together perfectly. So basically, we have pictures of all the different stages or layers of the box here, and we're going to just kind of talk through those like normal, so you guys can still see all the cool stuff inside and make your own opinion on whether you want to jump in on this box. So stay tuned as we work our way through each section. All right, guys. So the next stage in here is this upper layer where we get basically a couple of the reference cards. And I really love that Blood Red Skies does that, and I wish really every two-player starter or every like army starter for a game would have something similar, because basically once you get familiar with the game, you really shouldn't be consulting or having to consult the rule book for much of anything. And these cards just do such a or these sheets really do such a wonderful job of just highlighting every aspect of the game that you really need to know, and the rest will be on your stat cards and other special cards that you play throughout the game. So one thing I've done, which I can recommend to people, is because you need to get two of these in here, is going and laminating them just to make sure that they're basically bulletproof as far as like typical gaming damage. So whether it's like a spilled drink or something basically, or just normal wear and tear. So that'll kind of protect them for the long haul. But anyway, good stuff that we get those. All right, guys, so moving past that, we get sort of the first major layer of the box here. And as we can see, a whole lot of stuff that you get in this box, right? So first up, we get the 12 planes, 6 on each side. So we get wildcats and zeros and the pre-colored plastic. So you can get a pretty cool game right out of the box without having to go and get everything painted right away. It's very easy to figure out what's what. Obviously, the planes will look different too. You get our pack of cards here for the game. So basically the plane cards, and they do give you some extras as well. So there's some cardboard standees and stuff for running some of the dive bombers. And then finally, the cool part is the new sort of consolidated rule book. Back in the original starter, there were three sort of smaller booklets that covered the various rules and missions and all that stuff. But sometimes it was a little confusing as to where to reference what, and so you were having to like go back between each of the books for different things, and it was just kind of a wait, where was this or where was that? And it was just a bit of a mess. This, of course, now it's consolidated into one book with hopefully we haven't read through it cover to cover 100% yet, but just hopefully nice and streamlined, and maybe some smaller updates to clarify things. But anyway, here's what you get, and again, lots of good stuff here. So definitely packed with more goodies as we can see below. All right, next up, taking out the rulebook, we have some more goodies below. So we get two pretty hefty decal and sticker sheets to basically cover and customize the planes to whatever you really want to do with them. Or we get our normal set of dice as well. So the 12 there basically for all your planes. Really, most of the time you're going to need not quite as many, but it's nice to have those as well. And then towards the top there, we also see we have our stack of aircraft trait and theater and other cards there that we'll want for both sides, and just add some cool abilities and unique things as well. So, and then below that, finally, we can see there's that mess of bases, the flight stands with, again, the different layers of not elevation, but advantage. So that's one thing Blood Red Skies does for those not familiar. Doesn't strictly focus on elevation, but what they call advantage, or different states of that. So advantage, neutral, and sort of disadvantage, and using that to basically accumulate damage or working towards eventually shooting down enemy planes. So really cool system, and makes things pretty streamlined overall. And then the blank or clear part of the center of the base is where you'll put the little flying discs on there to let you know what level of pilot skill your particular plane has, and whether also it's an ace or not. So very easy to visually identify, not only what planes are what, but what skill levels are involved as well, and what their current status is more or less. So below that, we can still see some more goodies. So we're going to keep digging through these layers for you guys. All right, getting to the very bottom now. So, some cool updates from, again, sort of where the original was at. So, this golden sprue here essentially was in plastic and not quite as nice. So, they really kind of upgraded this to a little bit more of a deluxe feel on the set here. Only gripe, if really there was one, just with this being a two-player box, would have been cool to maybe have like two of these so that each player could have sort of a full set of these. But basically, you have these longer sticks with the grooves in them are what you'll use to measure your distance for the planes, and very easy. Again, given the round bases, you just kind of slide them forward without sort of making a mess. And then that larger thin rectangle is basically your shooting distance, and then you have the turning gauges and stuff like that. So overall, again, just really good stuff. So, and finally below that we see cutouts here for essentially clouds, and then they've made these dual-sided as well, so you have other terrains available on that as well. So really neat stuff from Warlord there. Glad they stepped that up and made it a little bit more interesting given the Pacific Theater nature. So again, you'll see missions where it's not just battle over open water, but all the different tiny islands and atolls and stuff like that. So really cool stuff here. And then finally, just a quick look at the plane cards. Again, we're not going to go into super long detail here with all the different um, pilot skill and theater and all those cards, but just to give you an idea of what specifically you have in the box. So our main fighter for the Americans, again, we're going to get the F4F Wildcat. Pretty decent overall. A little bit on the slow side compared to its direct counterpart in the box here, the Zero, but better firepower, but not quite the crazy maneuverability that the Zero has. So an interesting versus essentially. So it has the robust trait, and then we get some torpedo bombers, basically in dive bombers. We get the TBD-1 Devastator, and then the Dauntless as well. So, and again, naturally, those are going to be even slower. On the Japanese side, of course, we get the A6M20. So not so much on the firepower side, but just absolutely stellar maneuverability and good speed for this stage of the war. So, and has one of the downsides to it with all that speed maneuverability comes that lack of armor. So it does have the vulnerable trait, among other things, which again, if you're starting to put hits together on these planes or shooting opportunities, we should say, you're going to get extra dice to target them. So then we have the Val. Again, pretty good maneuverability still for what they are. Speed, of course, nothing special there. But dive armor also vulnerable. Basically, all the Japanese planes are vulnerable, so no armor. And then the Kate, the Nakajima Kate, torpedo bomber, turret, and vulnerable as well. So again, you get a good mix of planes here to start off with, and there'll be more follow-up releases too for some of the other later war planes for the Pacific Theater, and we already have some in the sense of like the Corsairs and stuff. But we want the Lightnings, we want other goodies as well. So there you have it, basically. So Battle of the Pacific. So if you're new to Blood Red Skies, definitely consider this box. If you're still looking for if you prefer more of the European theater, you can still find the other box out there, the original. If you're looking for that action, but this is again it's fresh, it's new. The box price I think did go up from the original, but they've also included a little bit more overall. I feel, and again that deluxe template sprue there is really good stuff compared to the cardboard, which with wear and tear, if you're not careful with those, then I mean naturally there's going to be battle damage sort of over time there. But overall, again, just a great set, well worth getting into. And exciting also that the game is still seeing support. So that is the main thing. So definitely overall, I think this is a buy. Whether you are new to the game, great way to get in, or existing player and just wanting more with the Pacific Theater. So obviously, if this theater interests you, this is going to be a great way for you to get in. So let us know in the comments, guys, as always, what you think and what your thoughts are on the set. Anything you would have maybe preferred to see in here versus what we got, or other changes that you'd make, and what your experiences so far have been with these particular planes. So hit us up in the comments, guys. Like and subscribe as always, and we'll see you in the next one.